I'm Morey White.
Well, I'm Tracey White.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and we are broadcasting from the bunker, safely, at 3DB Studios in Aurora, Colorado. And this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Da, 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 da. We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
The bunker. That was good. I
Safe
like
in the
that.
bunker.
Yeah.
We're here in the bunker.
Oh, that's awesome. The bunker.
Well, here we are, crazy time, right? We are in a time of people acting crazy, out of their minds. In fact, today, let's see, Michael went to the store. You've been to the stores today.
3 of them, yeah.
I mean, toilet paper is a scarcity. Whoever knew it would be easier to get cannabis than toilet paper. But that's where we are.
Hey, it's Colorado.
It's Colorado. And he was saying, he sent me a text that just simply said, "This is crazy." I said, "It's what, a lot of people and not much on the shelves." He said, "Both."
Both. And it's definitely gatherings of more than 10 people.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And when I went to the bank today, I went in and I was making a deposit, and the lady was telling me, she goes, "I think people are really overreacting here." She goes, "We had people coming in withdrawing like $5,000 at a time." So we're actually running a little low on cash here today. I was like, I'm glad I added to the till.
Yeah.
so it's going to be all right. She goes, "I think so too."
You know what? There are some proposals out there that I am completely on board with, like suspending payments on like mortgage payment and utility payments and stuff like that. I'm like,
Sure.
I can do that. I'm all right with that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Might as well hurt everybody.
You know what, though? I mean, seriously, though, that would help a lot of people out because, I know you're lucky enough, I'm lucky enough, you're lucky enough. Right now, we're all getting paid. We can work at home. The kind of jobs that we're in, we can work at home. But there's a lot of people out there that are not going to be able to go to work here pretty soon or are suffering anyway.
Yeah.
Because, they shut the dining in restaurants down.
Right.
So,
waiters, waitresses.
Yep.
Yeah.
The wait staff is going to be, really impacted by that. I know there's a lot of like childcare folks that are suffering from that as well. A lot of parents are staying home. I know, Kathy does childcare. The parents are going to keep the kids home for a while. We're very blessed to have some good parents that are helping with that compensation anyway. So,
Yeah.
but a lot of places don't get that, and I know where you work, there was a lot of people laid off because you work for an airline, and I mean that was a direct and sudden impact on the airline.
It's amazing right now that I have a job, and I really thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
And I will continue to thank the Lord even if I get let go. And the reason is because I work with wonderful people, and as long as they get to keep their jobs, I'm super happy about that. And it looks like they will.
And if you get fired or lose your house, you need to stay in the bunker.
I'll
You stay in the bunker?
I'll stay here in the
But
bunker.
if I
Right here
lose
in the
my
bunker.
job, I'm coming to your place.
I have lived in the bunker here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Weeks.
Before it was built out, though.
Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, I will just make this comment that, look at this, we're all three here.
We are.
We're here.
So
Surprisingly.
No missing, fading balloon faces.
Well,
no,
my
weird
Georgia
drawings on
trip was
faces.
canceled because DOD put a stop to all official travel. And that was an official, gig I was going to do with the Air Force, and that's not happening now.
Yeah, so you're here, man.
So it causes some issues, not for me particularly, but for some other people who are slated to go to some training and school and stuff like that. But the effect is like very broad. So
It really is, and this is, in part what we talked about yesterday. At Compass, we met outside. All of the schools here have been shut down, like most places in the country. And so we weren't able to meet inside, so we decided to have our first church in the park, such as it was. It was like the chili church in the park.
It wasn't that bad.
But it really wasn't that bad.
It was all right. Yeah.
Morey was falling asleep in the shade, he told me.
Oh, that was great. Something about sitting outside.
I love it,
Oh, man.
Even with the chill, I mean, we had you brought your heater, and that was helpful.
I had a blanket over my legs like an old person.
Yeah.
It was great.
But so anyway, I thought that was that went pretty well. But yeah, it's interesting that we have moved from. Just the timing of what we've been talking about, and we talked about 2 of the fruit of the Spirit yesterday.
Peace and patience.
Peace and patience, and the short version of that. That that idea of peace is that not having that fear that is driving so much of what's going on in our country and around the world right now.
Yeah.
And then the other side of that is patience, and that's that long, rather than being short-tempered, being long-tempered, which really implies not just enduring the circumstances, but being patient with people. And both of those, man,
that's a challenge.
Toilet paper.
It's a challenge.
Toilet paper crisis of 2020. 2020, you thought we'd have seen that coming.
You know what, though? Earlier we were joking about...
Thank you. Keep going. Bad joke.
How if this was a virus that caused explosive diarrhea, we'd be at a nasal spray.
That's right.
Whoa!
I don't get it.
This
It's
is for
like,
children.
Well, I
mean, I know it's bad and everything, but toilet paper.
Toilet paper, man.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I think the mindset is that people are acting as if it's the apocalypse, as if it's all done and it's going to be every man for themselves. So you're seeing like the worst of humanity in so many ways. It's that selfish, kind of hoarding sense. And that's something, I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, but it's something that church is uniquely suited to do something about.
Is.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was A.W. Tozer who said, I may not be quoting this exactly right, but a scared world needs a fearless church. And this was said back in World War II.
Yeah.
And that's really true. I think one of the best things we can communicate to friends, neighbors, whatever it is, a voice of calm, a voice of just reassurance. It doesn't mean that everything's going to be fine. It might. I believe it's going to be fine. I think this is going to pass pretty soon. But even if it doesn't, we have hope that we can share with people. We have joy we can sell with them. He's confident. I'm confident. That's the thing.
We might have it.
Maybe we all have it right now. But our trust is in the living God, and the comfort and the peace that we have through Jesus will get us through all of these things, even if it takes us through death, which is a little bit of a bold and obnoxious kind of statement. But I'm not ready to just die here tonight. I mean, nobody's looking for that. But we do have a hope beyond the pressures and trials and tribulations of this life. But anyway, I think it's just a great opportunity for us to do a number of things, to care for one another as our church better than we ever have before, checking on each other, calling each other. We might need to organize something. Leo and I have been going back and forth on ideas like the toilet paper thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we should put up a site or a Google Doc or something where you can list some of the things you have that you have extra of.
We'll trade for it.
And we just you've got 10 rolls free of toilet paper. Well, I'll take those. Let's share with each other.
Well, Kathy and I talked about that too, because they're limiting how many packages you get. So I'm like, I'll go in and get my 2 packages, and you go in and you get your 2 packages, and then if anybody that we know needs some, we can say, hey, we have some to spare.
There you go.
But then you get to thinking, well, if you do that, then that's 2 packages extra that you took off the shelf that somebody else really needs.
Right.
It's such a catch-22. I think we were talking about this yesterday.
Cough drops.
What a great idea it would be to go as a church and buy up a bunch and then give them out. But, again, we'd be clearing the shelves. As how do we distribute it? Anyway, I'm praying through it. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way we can communicate to our community, to our friends and neighbors, that we care about them and we want to meet a real need. If it's somehow we, I don't know where we get it, toilet paper stand, how many do you need? I don't know.
I mean, it could be meals or whatever. Josh was bummed that the grocery store is completely out of macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah. They're low on cereal, too.
Are they really?
You should go across the street and look. It's
I would really rather not.
apocalyptic.
It's apocalyptic.
We look like Venezuela.
Oh, sad.
Well, and here I am, and this is the way I was yesterday. And I may actually post yesterday's message. It's a raw recording. It's outside. It's not the best, but I can bump the sound a little bit. But I might post that. But my voice was just toast yesterday because I'm sick. It's so funny. I mean, it's like the world is all, freaking out over coronavirus, and I'm sick with something totally unrelated.
Yes.
Seasonal allergies wipe me out once a year.
Right.
And so it didn't just tackle my voice. I was telling Morey before you got here, Tracy, that once I got home, I just was, I was half dead. Yeah, it was terrible because it wasn't just the voice, it was everything.
Yeah.
And then my whole side of my head was sore and headache all night, had a rough night, wasn't feeling back up to speed until like later this afternoon. I mean, this morning, if you guys had called me, I said, no way. There's no way I'm even going to be.
Right.
So, but that's a seasonal thing that passed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping I'm on the brighter side of it. But it's like, I need to be able to give my full, mind and heart and prayer to what our best response to the situation with people is. And again, for whatever reason that's caused it, people, I think, are beginning to, at least deal with their own mortality a bit, even if they're, hoarding or just me and mine, and it's that every man for himself kind of idea. It still gives us an opportunity to share hope and to minister in the middle of some of this nonsense too, and also to show a different way of dealing with people.
Different way.
Leon and I go for a walk yesterday afternoon, which was probably the worst idea for me. But it was fun anyway. So we go out for this walk, and people, I could tell they're keeping their 6 foot, social distance. I have a friend who's a drummer, and he posted on Facebook, "Social distance." That's the name of my new band.
Oh, that's great! I like it.
Spiff.
I also saw another meme in one of the drummer Facebook groups. It's a Christian drummer Facebook showing the shield around the drummer, saying
Those that survive.
best quarantine.
That is the best quarantine. Yes.
All the drummers survive. Oh, but what I was going to say is people were walking by 6 feet or whatever, but I could tell a lot of them were kind of head down. And we are like, "Hi, how you doing? Good to see you." And they kind of brighten up, and we're fine. And just being, pleasant and with people seems to offer a little bit of hope in a scary time too. So,
I got
anyway,
a different kind of thought. We could talk about anxiety and God tells us not to be anxious and that. But you know what? I think a lot of times in situations that are uncertain or a little bit scary, there's a lesson to learn.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. So this is an exciting time. Maybe this is a time when we need to watch and listen. Maybe we need to do a little extra praying so we can try to figure out what it is in this situation God wants us to do or to learn or whatever that might be.
That's so
Just
good.
throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, that's so good. I mean, that's the first response is during all this time, uncertainty, that's the word, we're not sure what's going to happen. It's the perfect time to spend time back in the Bible,
Yes.
time in prayer, and letting your fears and anxieties be offered to the one who can be stable in the midst of chaos. He's the one that calms the storm. While you're in quarantine, you have extra time to read your Bible.
It's not quarantine; it's social distancing.
Social distancing.
Get the buzzwords right.
Get the buzzwords. I am not good with buzzwords. B. That's a good one.
Speaking of,
Yes, sir.
you eat enough local honey, you're going to build up an immunity to seasonal allergies.
Yeah.
I speak from experience.
I was going to say, we have now completely gone through that local honey that you guys use.
It took you that long?
No. It's been,
I was going to say,
we
we go through.
Man, it's so
honey.
good.
Yeah.
Tastes so good. I'm going to share this verse of scripture real fast.
We have these.
These guys have these. They're awesome. Hebrews 13:16, as the book of Hebrews is wrapping up, he has these sort of final admonitions to the church here. In Hebrews 13:16 says, "Don't forget to do good and to share." And this version says to share with those in need.
Yeah.
So it's like a reminder, hey, don't forget in the midst of whatever you're facing, whatever trials, difficulties you're in, just remember to do good. Don't get tired of doing good. Look for opportunities. Spur one another on to do good things. Keep doing that in the midst of everything and to share.
That was that last night's verse of the day?
It may have been.
Or the day before that?
Yeah, it very well could be. On the Bible app.
Yeah, on the Bible app. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's a good reminder, Let's, instead of being the ones who are hoarding all the toilet paper, maybe we should be talking to our neighbors. Hey, you guys need some? I have some, and it's not a barter. It's like, let us share some of this with you.
Of course.
You know why we do that? Why is it? Because of the love we have been shown. John 3:16 will explain all of that.
John 3:16.
Yeah.
God so loved that He
gave.
He gave. That's right. He gave His one and only Son. Whosoever believes in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life.
That's a good thing. Even if the virus kills everybody, well, we're still going to live on.
That's right.
We're going to punch out of these, biomechanical machines here, and then
get some new ones.
Yeah, get some new ones.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I'm not back 100% yet either. But yeah, I want to say this before I forget that. And again, this is sort of a behind-the-scenes conversation, so I just always feel like if somebody's gone the extra mile, they're listening to this podcast, we'll give them a little extra.
Yeah, especially 15 minutes into it or so.
Yeah, so they're really listening.
Then this is where the good stuff
This
is.
is
The good stuff.
Free Starbucks card if you enter.
No.
Wait, where do
I like
enter?
that idea. We need to do a giveaway.
Yeah.
But the Starbucks will all be closed.
That's right. Sorry, you can't have it.
Sorry.
You have to go through the drive-thru.
We should do that at the end of a podcast. Say if you say the word
Whatever. Yeah, send us the email in the comment. First 5 people
then
get
you get a $5. Well, that's
toilet paper certificate.
It's a cup of coffee.
$5. Well, I don't know. Is it even
it's a cup of coffee.
Is it a
Sure, yeah.
or like a half
Get a
cup?
cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah. For
Starbucks might be half cup.
Well, you can actually for $5 you can get a small
Coffee, but can you get a frou-frou drink?
no.
$10 Starbucks card. All right,
It's not today.
But not today.
We're not rich.
But that's not a bad idea. And then, sometimes we'll do it at the end, sometimes we'll do it in the middle. That way you can't just scroll to the end. You have to listen.
Right?
Yes.
I don't even know what I was talking
The
about. You guys got me off on
password
this. What was I talking about? Can we rewind this so I can see what I was talking about?
We can.
Be right back.
I forgot what I was talking about.
You wrapped up the pot.
Well, see, God's love.
John 3:16.
John 3:16.
Somehow we got to Starbucks cards.
We got Starbucks.
Sharing with other people.
Oh, here it is. Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. It was, yep. See, I knew we'd catch up.
Something I would like to suggest during this time, because we don't know how long this is going to last. I'm hoping it's only going to really last for another 3 or 4 weeks in terms of the intense
Podcast or
quarantine.
the virus?
The virus.
Oh, okay.
Virus.
Whew. All right.
Virus.
What am I going to do with my Mondays?
The crisis in planet Earth.
Yes.
But I think something that we can start doing, and this is one way that we can just say, because we're going to be innovative, as we always are, in how we meet and where we meet and whatever. But I think that this is a good opportunity to say that we need to either stream or immediately make available at least the audio and or a video every time that we gather.
Okay.
So regardless if you're scared to get out, you don't want to be, like they've condensed it down to 10 people, and if you're number 11 and you're showing up at our house next week or whatever, we'll have to turn you away.
Yeah.
But we will stream or make available every one of those gatherings. So I think we can do that fairly simply.
Well, I know we only got one camera tonight. Normally we have, all 3 going, but we didn't want to mess with anything.
Well,
but the box that we hook all the cameras to, streams out. So, I mean, straight to YouTube or whatever.
Okay.
So we could do that.
And we have phones as well in case we don't have a connection.
Yeah, that's the big thing is you have to have a good wire.
Yeah, that's true. And even if it's not live, I mean, sometimes, even though live gets a lot of PR, not PR, but a lot of publicity, a lot of times just making sure it's available so somebody to watch whenever they want.
There, a church that Kathy and I were members of a while back, they streamed the service this last Sunday.
Yeah.
And they got more views than they have members. It was great.
Yeah, what happens in some of those instances is you have people from all over the country that are also kind of friends, family, and whatever.
Sure. That was great.
That's awesome. It's amazing. A lot of churches and a lot of good friends of mine chose this past Sunday to just do online. So some of them were church plants, pretty small.
Yeah.
And they just did something from their home. They streamed it to everybody. Others had, did sort of a full gig where they did music and everything and streamed it. Bigger churches all did something like that.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
It's a great way for using technology, at least for the time being. Uh-oh, you have an
We'll
idea.
have church in the field. We'll set up in groups of 5. More than 6 feet apart. You have to run to each one.
We rotate from one to the other.
It's kind of like speed dating, but it's speed
Speed
churching. Speed churching.
Join us next week for speed churching in the field outside of Arkansas Elementary School.
Goodness.
But anyway, that's something I know that we can do that makes our gathering available to everyone, even if they still have a little bit of nervousness about the virus and whatever.
Sure.
So that's one thing.
We can make it happen.
Yeah. So and
We have
it
the
can be in
technology.
various grades of quality. I mean, just that there's something available, so we can start doing that.
If it came down to it, and we had to do Big Sunday that way, we'd do it right here. We'd have the worship music.
Yeah, well, we'll have to work out our licensing for that, but yeah. But yeah, we can. It's very doable. I mean, no, there's a license.
Oh, well, we'll sing Leckie songs.
I got 3 or 4.
Right?
My brother has at least 1 or 2.
I think we'd be safe with
He's got
those.
many.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
And they're good songs.
Kind of liking
so,
that.
yeah.
I like that idea. But anyway, so next week we're probably going to, and again, this is not absolutely official, but we're probably going to meet at my house next week. Okay? And we can stream from there too, very simply. Maybe even a Facebook Live to make that happen. But we might also meet here one of these Sundays if things keep going on like this. We might do one Sunday where it's just all online. My concern about that is always, it's one thing when it's novel, but when that's the only thing you're doing for weeks on end, I always wonder if anybody's ever even turning in. You know?
Right.
I might watch it later. It's hard enough getting people to look at an email or something,
Well,
right?
yeah.
So- but anyway, biggest word here today is hope, right? It's we do not need to panic in this situation. Let's offer calm. Let's take care of each other. Display the fruit of the Spirit of peace and of patience with each other and kindness to each other. And
Patience is the tough one, I think.
yeah,
You're searching for toilet paper. And
Searching
there's
for
just
toilet
none to
there's
be
none. And they're thinking, what is wrong with these
I
people?
know.
I get it, man.
And it is, it's we have a peace the world does not have.
I agree.
It's true.
And so the way we look at things is different, considerably different. So, I think it's important for us to remember to have that patience, to show the love that God showed us in John 3:16 and explained in Corinthians. Anyway, that that we have the patience and kindness and gentleness to bear with them as they suffer through something they can't understand.
Yeah.
Or have the capability of understanding in the same way.
It's like we need to be concerned about these trials and things.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
But it's a different kind of concern than someone who has no hope beyond.
Right.
Yeah, somebody asked me about it. How can you? It's a big deal. How can you treat it like it's not? Like, no, I'm not treating it like it's not a big deal. I think it's a big deal. I just have a different sense of hope and
peace about it.
And I'm still going to wash my hands. I'm going to be
Absolutely.
very cautious.
Absolutely.
I'm going to mind all of the the warnings out there
Yeah.
and any rules that are set up and stuff like that. But I am not going to let this overtake my life and steal my
Right.
joy and all that. So
Well, we've got thousands of years of church history
Yeah.
of Christians who faced much bigger things than they're being faced right now.
oh yeah,
And one of the things I mentioned yesterday is that the church, at least throughout history, except for a couple of bumbles along the way, has basically been known rather than running from the pain and the suffering. They run to it to help and to serve, and sometimes they even die with the people they're serving.
Absolutely.
Which is, a mindset and a thought that is not very present in our world today. The world of people who are going to die with stacks of toilet paper around them, right?
Yeah.
But
No.
hopefully not. Well, all right, guys. You're still ill. I'm on the upswing. I'll be better hopefully the next couple of days.
I'm
You're
feeling
not
pretty
sick?
good. Well, no, I mean I feel pretty good. I mean I have a little bit of a dry cough, fever, some aches and pains and stuff like that. But other than that, shortness of breath, I feel pretty good.
Love you, brother.
Now, I do have some, I want to do a prayer request to you guys and everybody that's watching, just generalized here. Just pray for people. Pray for people who are sick and now they're scared that they might have this thing. I've got a friend that is being tested for it. I think he'll be okay, in the grand scheme of things, but it's still scary.
It'll be uncomfortable.
So sure. Prayer for peace.
Prayer for peace, and for healing, and for some kind of, it'd be wonderful to find some kind of cure or vaccine against this virus, as well as many others out there. But whether by miracle or medicine, God heal our land. It's our prayer, right? And peace. Peace all around. Well, all right, guys. Are we done tonight?
If there's one thing I've noticed, I like to watch people.
And watch people?
And if you've been watching this podcast, and you've noticed that Johnny has moved all of this stuff around a lot. He has reordered it in many, many different ways.
Thank you.
And
this is funny.
And I have folded every wrapper that I have used.
If my wife had been here, this would be in 1,000 pieces. We don't record it.
And I found this hair clip and I just picked it up. So
it just.
But I have.
Interesting.
So we're going to leave here and we're going to wash our hands, you sinners.
Yes. That's right.
Oh, it's funny now. Oh, sure. Yesterday wasn't fun. Well.
It was.
Wash your hands, those sinners.
I was asleep.
It's harder to laugh when you're cold. But I'm kidding.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, there are good things ahead, no matter what. And we, together as friends in church, we're gonna meet these obstacles head on, and we're gonna love people, and we're gonna keep pressing on for more stronger, closer followers of Jesus. And are you with me?
I'm
with you.
We're gonna do this thing.
All right.
All right, guys. I think that's all I have for tonight. How about you?
Well, I think that if somebody has a need, really has a need, please put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Email Johnny.
Email
put it in the comments. Whatever.
We will do whatever we can.
Yep.
And I'm hoping to unfold all that. Watch our website for sure, compassdenver.com, because as I was mentioning the idea of some kind of hub or something where we could share needs or share things. I don't know if that's how it's going to play out, but we definitely want to try to figure out a way to meet needs around us. So if you have some kind of need, even if it's like that, even if it's like, you know what, I can't find toilet paper anywhere, I bet we could find somebody that still has some extra that we can start sharing. But anyhow, it's just got me now thinking about it.
Should have just left it alone. Oh, goodness.
Oh, for the love. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. I think it's the 5th time now. I thought that was his tip. So maybe I should make sure. Are we sure we're done?
We're done. We're good.
All right, guys.
Love you.
Grace and peace to you. We meet I forgot to say, we meet every Sunday, usually at 10 a.m. at Arkansas Elementary School. It'll, go to our website for where we'll be over the next few weeks. But we'd still love to have you as our guest, either online or in person, during this crisis time. And anyway, discover more at compassdenver.com. Now we'll do it again. What was the final word?
Love you guys. Love everybody.
It was peace again.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we have tonight. Thanks for watching. We're out.